Hey everybody, thanks for listening or watching on the podcast. This is a short format episode podcast that you can listen to while you're doing your business on the pot. Or maybe you're waiting for an important phone call to come through and they told you 10 o'clock, but it's now 10:07 and you're like, do I call them? Am I waiting? They're supposed to call me. You look at your email, you double check that they're going to call you, but you never know.
No.
So, turn on an episode on the podcast and learn a little bit. And stare at your phone and hold it in your hand and go, wait, And then eventually maybe they'll call you. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Liz. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Liz.
What are we talking about today?
Liz, I'm going to tell you an unbelievable story that led to...
Okay, I don't believe it.
that led to some modern medical knowledge.
Okay.
So it all started with a man named Phineas Gage, who was born... Oh, do you know Phineas Gage?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. You know Phineas Gage. I'll tell our listeners. Okay. So Phineas Gage, born in 1823 in New Hampshire.
He's like the most famous man of biology books in high school.
Yeah. I must have seen, there's a very famous picture.
Yeah.
Go and Google Phineas Gage.
Go to On the Podcast
podcast.
On Instagram.
And look at this picture of Phineas Gage. Anyway, so we'll get to that. Not much was known about his childhood. Had 4 other siblings. As the 1800s.
As one does.
Yeah. Probably worked on a farm. Maybe worked in some quarries growing up.
As one does.
As one does. But ended up working on some railroad projects.
As one does.
As one does in the 1800s.
The railroad was big. The railroad was big in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah. Turn of the century, like, technology. You're getting places that you'd never even dreamed about. And things.
The railroad is set to go through this space. We better build a church and a bar along the rail.
That's very true.
And we'll employ the whole town.
Building it. I was like, through that church and the bar.
And that.
Okay, so July 1848, he was employed on the construction of the Hudson River Railroad in Cortlandt Town, New York. And by September of that year, he was a blasting foreman on this like railroad construction team.
Sounds like a blast.
So, September 1848, he was 25 when he started working this. And he was, prepping an area to blast some rocks away to make room for tracks.
Yeah.
So he was tamping down some powder into a drill hole when a premature explosion happened and drove the tamping iron through his left cheek and out of the vault in his skull and like shot out of his head back behind him. And there was this quote that I read that there was like brain splatter on the rocks behind him.
Yeah.
So this tamping pole was 3.5 feet long and 13 pounds.
Yeah. I've seen that Grey's Anatomy episode.
So surprisingly, this did not kill him. He survived this initial injury and was like able to speak and walk to like cart that took him into town where Dr. John Harlow took a look at him and like still conscious and talking and got a hole blasted in his head.
I can't imagine but to be fair, you're a doctor in the 1840s. You're seeing some nasty stuff.
I'm sure this was like a normal Tuesday
it was like,
after.
Luckily, I'm a doctor, so I don't have to save you, especially in the 1800s. I just have to pretend to do something. Like, I don't know if you've seen any of that, like, anything from, like, the Civil War. Like,
oh, God, the things are horrendous.
The surgeries, the, like, nastiness, the, like, maggots getting into these wounds and stuff. Like,
but them using maggots to, like, clean out wounds.
Yeah, and it's just, like, well, yeah, I think, yeah. But it's just, like, to be a doctor in that time, it's like, well...
maggots,
You're here.
3.5 foot tamping iron.
You're here, which means the odds aren't good, but they're not zero.
So the picture we were talking about is of him with, like, injury clearly to his eye, but he's holding this iron that flew through his skull. Anyway, so the wound continued to bleed for 2 days, and then he got infection after that, and then he was rendered, like, semi-conscious for the next month or so. Gained consciousness back, was in treatment for an additional 5 weeks, and Dr. Harlow, unlike probably a lot of the other doctors of the time, seemed to really care and, like, want him to get better, because it was the initial, like, holy shit, basically you're still alive. Like, let's see how long we can keep you alive. So went through all of this treatment, returned to his parents' home in New Hampshire to recuperate, and was still, like, touching base with Dr. Harlow. And Dr. Harlow started noticing changes in his personality.
He's gay.
That's what happens when you get a 3.5 foot iron through your skull.
That's how the gays happen.
I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that story of that guy who had, like, who went into a coma? He was, like, a rugby player or whatever, and went into a coma and woke up from the coma, like, a month later and was gay. Like, it's a weird way to come out, I guess. Yeah. I guess I just got to end up in a coma.
That coma made me gay. I remember rumors of it. Was that a real thing?
It was a story. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So his employer, so he tried to go back and work at the railroad again. And this is a bit of a long quote that I'm going to read you, but I think it's an important one. So they regarded him, quote, as the most efficient and capable foreman. They considered the change in his mind so marked that they could not give him his place again. He is fitful, irrelevant, indulging at times in the grossest profanity, manifesting but little deference for his fellows, impatient of restraint or advice when it conflicts with his desires, a child in his intellectual capacity and manifestations. He has the animal passions of a strong man. His mind was radically changed, so delicately that his friends and acquaintances said he was, quote, no longer Gage.
Yeah.
So, had this...
TBI.
Had this traumatic brain injury, but that wasn't a thing in the 1800s. Like, nobody understood what that was. So Dr. Harlow was the one that said, like, A plus B probably equals C. Yeah. And everybody was like, no, you're crazy. That's not what happened. Yeah. So, a little bit of a weird fun fact. Gage became a Barnum Circus curiosity for a little while because he couldn't
That was the time to do it. The 1800s was the time to do it.
He couldn't hold down, like, a normal job. Yeah. And ended up dying from related injuries, related to his injury in May of 1861, 12 years after. So... like I said, Dr. Harlow was the one saying something's going on with him. He said, it's nothing like dementia, but there were manifestations in his mental operations that were not like they were before, basically. Yeah.
Well, part of his brain left his skull.
Part of his brain. That I'm sure recovered in some sort of capacity, didn't grow back, but, Anyway, so then 10 years after that, a man named David Ferrier helped confirm Dr. Harlow's theory that there are certain regions of the brain cortex which have definitive functions. And again, before this,
It was just a blob
it
in your
was
skull.
like, yeah, there was like nothing that anybody could say.
Yeah.
So yeah, every generation basically of scientists since then has studied Phineas Gage in some capacity. In the 1940s, there was a famous neurologist that made a diagram of Phineas's skull in order to definitively determine the path of that tamping iron. In the 1980s, scientists repeated the exercise using CT scans. In the 1990s, they made a 3D model. And in 2012, they combined the CT scan and the MRI and, are still using him as an example in the neurological practice of today. And this happened in the 1800s.
Yeah, because there's still so little that we know about, like, what the brain does and what parts of it do what. Like, we have an idea of certain things, but, like, could this little inch over here, like, have one bigger role than this little inch right here? Like, no idea.
Yeah, so.
But you could also lose part of your brain and still survive. That's like, you've heard, right, that, like, if Abraham Lincoln had gone to a doctor in modern times after being shot in the skull, he likely would have survived that injury. But the issue was, this is the 1800s, and they were just, like, scraping at this bullet and just, like, getting rid of all this brain.
Get it out of there.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Now, mind you, if he were shot by a modern gun today, he probably wouldn't survive.
Different story.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you can go look at Gage's skull and the tamping iron in the Warren Anatomical Museum in Boston.
Yeah. Boston.
So, while you're there for the parade, the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah, in Boston.
Go see his skull.
It's wicked cool. All right, awesome. Thanks, Katie.
You're welcome.
What's that inside my body?
A brain that is doing a lot of work.
Maybe. I did a lot of damage to it in my younger days.
Yeah. That is also
other
knowledge.
things that scientists are studying.
There you go. Okay, see you next time.
Bye.